Hi guys, welcome to Tarot for Tired People, or welcome back if you've been here before. And it is only fitting that I end the year with an end of the year haul with all the December decks that came into my collection. So the first deck I want to talk about is the Iris Oracle. It is by Mary Elizabeth Evans from Spirit Speak. We all know about this deck. It's quite a popular deck. I didn't have it, and at the end of the year, while I was quite not opposed, but I was really not into buying indie oracles, I just couldn't justify the price. But then I realized slowly that it would help me deepen my practice because a lot of these decks are quite thought-provoking, and which is why this haul happened. So the Iris Oracle. If you have not seen it, it doesn't have any edging or anything. It's 78 cards, like a tarot card, and tarot deck size. And I think that these cards are beautiful. They are quite thought-provoking, as I said. They are quite emotive in its own way. The hand-drawn illustrations are so nice. But while I obviously started with, I'm not going to call it least favorite, but here's the thing. Most oracles, the reason I bought indie oracles is because most other oracles, including oracle decks that I have made, are very heal, abundance, etc. But some of these oracles that I bought kind of are so, they make you think and they make you contemplate and they deepen their practice by standing on their own. And that's why the purchases happened. But with the Iris Oracle, what I've realized is a lot of the cards are connected, like you see here, Ungrateful Daughter and Earthly Mother, which is number 7. Now that is about even when a daughter is spoiled by ways of material world and has inflated herself, her ego, blah, 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 the mother grounded in the earth will always see past her temporary whims and give her love and kisses. So a lot of the cards are about personal relationships. Now, this year has been an intense year. I've called it the dumpster fire of a year quite a few times, but it's been intense. All my wars and storms, all of those things happen only in my personal growth segment and in work because it's such a big identity for me. But when it comes to my personal life, it is exceptionally beautiful, and I have no doubts or questions or anything there, right? Like the people that are in my life are troopers, are warriors, and they protect me from all my storms, etc. So a lot of these cards here, I don't seem to be connecting with. That does not mean that I will not, but a lot of them do delve into a lot of my tarot is healing and personal growth, as I said, healing from certain personal experiences, but which has more to do with death and grief and loss than someone not liking me. So some of these things don't connect with me. Like the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd is about, it is scary to go out on your own into a big unknown. There's a safe place for you where you can be, where you are watched over and you can find it. No one person is truly right or wrong. It's what feels good to you in this moment. Try not to be afraid to say no to things that do feel true. Your truth is waiting for you and you have every right to be brave. So some of these cards I don't understand. When I got this card, I was like, am I the sheep or am I the shepherd? And then when I read it, I still didn't get it. Like, I say no to the flock I'm with and I go get a new shepherd, okay? And I am allowed to be brave and go on that search. Like, it does not connect with a life where my flock is who I am. My tribe is what makes me the woman that I am, that can deal with the storms. So again, it might connect with you if these are areas for which you go to tarot. But for me, some cards like spirits to guide you, and not this, but not this, not this. So you understand what I mean? Like, okay, maybe not this. A lot of these cards just don't seem to connect with me. I still think that the deck stands by its own, yeah, and it is very, very deep, and there is a lot that you could take away from it, especially if you're going through a period of certain storms of a stormy personal life. I think it would connect better with it. But then again, that's just my opinion of getting this deck and, exploring it, my opinion might change in a couple of months. Some of these cards I liked. After that, I was like, maybe it's not the right time. We will see. But yeah, it's definitely a deck that makes you think twice. You should think twice about each of the cards, because it's not just plain out in the daylight. Here's the meaning. The word is heal. And that's what you take from it, you know? So it's a good deck. I'm very happy that it's part of my collection. That's the Iris Oracle. So this is the Spreadcrafter's Oracle. You would have seen it a lot on TarotTube. I was also influenced by TarotTube to get it. I think it's one of the nerdiest Oracle decks that are out there. Like, I can't believe she sat down, thought about all these categories, all these words, and how they connect together, and what are the questions. It is a huge feat that she has done. So hats off to you, Kimberly. Now, I got these two because they were of the same price. End of the year discounts. But they are almost like standalone decks, and you could just get this. That's okay. I don't want to go into how the deck works and all of that. I will tag the creator's YouTube so you can see. You would have probably seen. But here are all the focus areas that you can build your spreads around from the main deck. So you have joy, peace, ancestry, finance. Now, I usually do not use these cards because that's not how I do tarot. Like, if I am doing around these and I have questions, or I would get a spread from somewhere and do it around that spread. But what I use this particular deck for is not a deep dive into tarot when I'm doing it. The thing is, I love hanging out with my cards, but you don't always have questions, and you can't keep doing spread after spread after spread. Sometimes you're just chilling and you want to still be chilling with the cards. Just the tactile feeling of holding the cards, shuffling the cards. I like that. I could be watching TV. So it's like a very, not a strictly deep diving, soul connecting, evocative, inquiry based, reflective experience. Sometimes I just want to chill, And that's when I kind of go into a burnout where I'm like, what do I ask? What do I do? I don't just want to, go through the cards. So this is very nice for that, because then I will shuffle this and use it more like a position prompter and kind of just put, okay, you have potential, you have ego, compassion. Are you guys able to see this? Let's change that to boundary. So you have assert. And then I have my tarot deck that I'm playing with. Oops. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a very slippery tarot deck. My potential is Queen of Wands. My ego, yes, is Hierophant. Yes, it is. Assert is Page of Swords. So it's a really fun way to sit with my decks and still get intuitive messages when I don't want to do excessive deep diving. But that is the way I am using it. It's a very surface level use of a deck like this. This deck can do a lot for you. The way she's thought of it, the category she has, everything has been explained. She has videos on it. It's very interesting. When it comes to the quest deck, that's like gamifying tarot. So if you're into solo RPG, etc., which I'm not into, these are also quite nice. Like, you have map and mission log, strength, upgrades, where your weekend, battle, boss fight, level up. So it's also quite interesting. You can build, and she has shown how you can do, and literally gamify your tarot. So this is someone with deep knowledge of tarot who was able to use it to create these decks that there's nothing like it really out there, and you can use it for deepening your practice, but not from a perspective of like the Iris Oracle, which is very mentally engaging, concept driven, and question forward. This is more like, what are the things I can do and unravel with when I am using these decks, right? Like, it still comes down to the reflection. Weakness has, what are your tragic flaws and downfalls? What do you tend to struggle with? What's something you can work on? So you could use any of these decks. These also stand alone by themselves, by itself. So you can have Queen of Pentacles. Okay, that's my weakness. So you could also do it in that way, or do it the way she shows. So this is the Spreadcrafter. Where's the, yeah, this is the Spreadcrafter Quest. I think she sells these separately. And the Spreadcrafter Change, which she made for social change. I think that was the concept behind it. Look at the back, so pretty. This is the change one. Where is it? Yeah, this is an expansion pack, but again, it stands by itself. So here you have, it's more about your social impact into the society. So you have oppression. How have you participated in or contributed to the oppression of yourself and others? Bypassing. What necessary perspectives or information are you refusing to acknowledge? So here, I don't think tarot would fit in as much as by itself if you were journaling and trying to, you know, see your impact on society, as I said. Repeated myself again. Engage, to become involved, to participate, initiate. She does show a way to use these, but I just think that they're gorgeous. I love them. I like, you know, the whole watercolor, the splashes, the words that they have. And it, between the 3 decks, it's literally hours of interacting with tarot and the deck and creative solo time that you can get from this. And that's something that I love, because otherwise it becomes too much of the same stuff going up and down. And you want to be sitting with your cards, but there is only that many questions that you want answered. Now, my friend once said that she has never run out of questions till date. I'm like, but I have. There's only that many times I can ask, and it says, well, you know, and my cards are also like that. Keep saying the same thing if one answer has been given. So yeah, this is the change, spread machine change, because I think the Spreadcrafter change is out of, but it's the same. It's the exact same deck. So when you buy it, this is the version you get, but it says in our website that it's literally the same. These are the backs for that. And for the main deck, it's these rainbow backs. And look at that beautiful edging, guys. So nice. I really like this deck. It's so nice. I really enjoy sitting with this, because you are doing shadow work without really doing shadow work. Like, you're not emotionally in a state to sit down and do a deep dive into your psyche and your soul. That's okay. You could just, you know, put in where do you need to surrender? What are your limiting beliefs? You know, what support is available to you? Good enough, right? Where are you sabotaging? So, how it's a deck that it's a deck that will help you, that makes tarot more accessible without having to put in the deep dive work all the time. It doesn't have to be a deep dive, right? A lot of us just sit with our cards and look at the art, and that's fine too. There is a time and place for everything. Like, you know how they say introspection is great, but too much of it can also be a problem. I faced it this year, so I know. I'll talk about that in the first video about my practice in the new year, but for now, this is the Spreadcrafter's Oracle by Kimberly San, my second new to me deck for this haul. This is the deck that made me feel like I've been a nice girl and Santa likes me. I mean, not a like me. Okay, the Matronua Tarot, I did not back it, and then I regretted it, and then somewhere in September I started chasing the creator, who's a delight. Not one day did she, you know, get even 1 second of did she get upset or any of those things. She was just really, really nice and sweet. And every month once I asked her, and like I said, by December I was like, you know what, give up now, you're not going to get it. Stop pushing for something that is not meant for you. There were other reasons. She had production issues, etc., etc. And then December, she texted me saying, hey, do you want the deck? I have them ready now. And I'm like, yes, I do. This is a Christmas miracle. And then here it is, the Matronua Tarot by Valentina De Luca. This was the Marseille deck that I wanted to, this is the, like, oh, I'm going to study Marseille in 2026, and this is the deck I'm going to study with. This is how I went about it. This is not my style of decks. See here, she wrote beautiful things, and she said, I'm also deeply grateful for your patience and your unwavering perseverance while waiting for the deck. Basically, that means I was really pushy. She's just really nice as a person. She's a delight to work with. And come on, guys. Then I got the 995th deck of 1,000 decks. How cool is that? I feel really cool about this. Oh, YouTube. Wait. This deck is a piece of art. It is exceptional. And while the original plan was to use this to study Marseille, and this is my first Italian style deck of my collection, it is so beautiful. I will not be using it. I keep it on a pillow with a lot of care and a lot of reverence, and it is precious. This is the face of her niece that she modeled and then she painted, and she's an Italian painter. Like, it's literally having the experience that somebody would have back in the day of painters doing these decks. I have the same with a painter from my time, you know, on this beautiful art paper. These backs are gorgeous. Of course, you've seen this everywhere. Of course, this is some, you know, people's most beautiful deck, etc. But it is so beautiful that I don't want to use it. I am just amazed that I have it, that I got it. And at this point, it is just, I use the cards for my altar. It has become my altar deck. But otherwise, this is a very strictly put it back in the bag and nicely with the Visionaries Tarot, because it goes into, I think this is going to be the second deck that I'm not going to be using. It is like, look at that Wheel of Fortune, guys. That's beautiful. Let me see if I can lift it. The Tower, like, I don't mind getting that Tower card. The World, the colors, it's beautiful. It's pastel, but it's not washed out. And that's something I love. When a lot of tarot decks try to do, you know, this kind of color palettes, it lands up being quite washed out. And that's something that is just not here. The play of colors, you know, even the way her craft, her work is so good. You can see the fabric and you can see the folds of the fabric and it all comes alive. The mix of colors that she has going. It's stunning. It deserves all the praises it gets. And I was reading her Kickstarter, you know, campaign, and she had said that she created the logo because she realized this is not going to be her first and last deck. So rest assured, I am going to be backing each one of them, because whether I use them or not, because that's what you do with, like, while there is the part of tarot, which is, there's the tarot person and then there's the art collector person. Sometimes some decks are only for the art collector in me. Sometimes some decks are not for the tarot reader in me. It is the art collector has said, stay, you know, hands off, pause off. This one is just for me to admire. Ah, so beautiful. This is the Matronua Tarot, my Christmas miracle. Really, this is not the Christmas gift I thought I'd give myself. So it's amazing that she just said, yeah, I'm ready. Like, if you want it, there's one in your name. And look at that moon card. Every time I saw this on the screen on Tarot Tube, right, I paused to look at it. You know what? Now that I'm thinking, I'm going to see if she has an art print of this. But again, as an expat, you know, we move houses, etc. so much. Having art prints that go up on the wall, it just becomes problematic after a while. Oh, it's such a beautiful card. Okay, you get me. You understand how I feel about it. 995, like, wow, that is nice. Okay, let's move on to the next. Next up is another indie oracle, My Friend Fire, which you would have seen is making the rounds. It's by Marianne the Sky, who has also done the Gentle Tarot. Let me know in the comments, what do you prefer? Do you prefer mass market over indie? I actually don't have a preference, because while I understand the card stock and all of that, I like to think that a deck does not know it's indie or mass market. From a tarot perspective, I care about the energetic imprint. And beginning of the year, I bought a lot of mass market. And halfway in the second half of the year, I bought a lot of indie. That's pretty much what happened. That's why you see most recently a lot of indie decks. But this time I bought a lot of oracle decks. I don't know, which one do you guys prefer? Do you like tarot decks more or oracle decks more? I'd love to know, because I felt indie tarot decks, like these Blue Bones or this one or Poesis or Iris or whatever, they are very, very my word now is thought-provoking. And they are they kind of don't do the heal and abundance and all of those, usual words. They can be quite layered, they can be quite symbolic, they can be quite intellectually stimulating, reflective, and idea rich. Like, I love that this card says ecosystem, and all the cards in this one, like Eagle's View. This is a beautiful card, timeless. I think this was one of her extra cards, but it's such her signature style. But again, this is why I love indie oracle decks, and that's why I bought so many of them in this season, just because they are very mentally engaging. They are very concept driven, they're very contemplative, detach, sending and receiving, put it down. Love that. She takes that world and puts it down. It's almost like Atlas was carrying that world on his shoulders, and here it's like, put it down. I love that. Connection. And again, I'm not someone who is, I just want an animal deck, or I want humans. Also something that I'm still figuring out, but I definitely need people in my decks. That's something I know. So I like that this has a beautiful play of the people, and just like the Gentle Tarot, right? And that's something I love. I am my own home first. Create. And the backs, guys, the backs are so beautiful. For me, they're almost like Rangoli, which is Indian, but it's got that color, but it's also got the pattern and the foiling. This is the first card. And obviously with indie oracle decks, another awesome thing is that you get so many cards, and it's lovely to pair, etc. Do you guys always use, do you use your decks always, it has to pair? Because something like the Iris Oracle, I don't use it as a pair. This one does pair really well. Like, this one has the pairing capacity. It comes alive along with something else. By itself, it's beautiful, but it really comes alive with something else. So I think each deck has its own way of, some of them want to be a pair. Or want to be a clarifier. Some of them want to sit by themselves. This is so nice. The divine in me says. You would have seen walkthroughs, etc. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do want to show you this deck in a pairing. But just look at the colors. Can we admire the colors and the openness and the earthiness of her decks? Her decks are made from the earth. Like, this is something that grounds me. Even her Gentle Tarot. Yes, it's gentle, but more than that, it is very grounding. It's like Faces and Forests. Again, very grounding. I have a special place in my heart for earthy decks, and this one just is there, And while the Samnya Oracle is white shadow, this one I like because everything is quite, I want to say positive, but also layered. I want to say, happy, but also designed to kind of spark this inquiry and reflection in you. And that's something that I like, because a lot of times I use tarot for emotional regulation and processing. So I need decks that can hold me. Majority of my collection is that. And a deck like this, look at that mustard edging. Is it a gold edging? It could be. Yes, it has a little shiny bit to it, but it looks mustard from a distance. Beautiful, beautiful oracle deck. I want to show you this in a pairing. Actually, it's with the decks that I've been using recently. And for that, let me show you my next deck, which is, I think, my most favorite in the lot. An old one, but an oldie, but a goodie. Of my haul, this is my most favorite deck right now. Outgrow Yourself. I don't know why I never got it before. It's a Thoth and oracle deck. I love it as an oracle. It's sassy. It's sassy, it's provocative, it is evocative, it's all of those things, but it's also very emotionally intelligent. I mean, that's why we like indie oracles, right? Because they are emotionally intelligent, because they do a little more than, say, abundance is coming. And this one is your sassy older sister. That's just how it is. Like, there is a card here, if it comes up, great, but I still remember it says, don't drown yourself in a glass of water. I love that. I can pin that up. Like, that's the kind of stuff that this deck has. And while it is still uplifting, but in that way that it makes you think. It's not a spoon feeding you positivity kind of deck. This deck gives you, all of these decks give you something to chew on, but this one definitely, it connected with me from, you know, from step 0. Some decks walk into your house and you're like, oh my god, yes, you are going to be one of my favorites. And that's just how I feel about this one. I love that the cardstock is nothing to call home for. That's why it's really easy to shuffle, it's really easy to use, all of those things. So I love this deck. Is beautiful, love it. That card didn't come up, I know, but it's a really, really nice deck. I know it's an old deck, but me love it. Come on, I'm here gushing about it. But it goes really well with Outgrow Tarot. And this, the 3 of them are friends. So let us see. We have the Outgrow Yourself. And I love when a deck is chunky, 78 cards to play with. Amazing. And how do I put it? I usually put it like this. Oh, look at that gilding of Outgrow. Have you guys bought her new deck? I think the publishers are... It was on Kickstarter. I didn't back it because Tabata and Vermilion, etc. were showing it. And then it... the Yukika... I saw a couple of people on Instagram talking about it. It looks beautiful. Oh. Okay, nice. So these two go really well together, as you can see, of the Emperor, and don't forget to water your plants. But with that, this one also adds a little bit of, when all the cousins have gathered together. I used to be the youngest cousin before my youngest cousin was born. And this is the little kid that kind of joins the party. But here she's not shooed away like I was. Nice to try and join my older cousins. But this one's like, yeah, we can be friends together. And they're all 3 of such different flavors, but they come together so well. Oh, that's beautiful. It says fire within, and you have the Emperor and the Sun there. Like, don't forget to water your plants. Timeless. 7 of Pentacles. You may never be good enough. I love it. It's been such a pleasure sitting with these. And because all 3 of them are 78, so it's super fun. You don't lose out on any of the cards. You get to play with all the cards and spend a lot of time with them. As I said, works really well in a pair. This one too. I mean, this one would work in all ways. But then again, there are just certain decks that really, really connect with you, right? This is one of those. Take back your power, and you have 3 of Swords. Why do you ask what you already know? Doesn't that really feel like your older sister? I am an only child, so I'm just saying it from, I mean, I have a friend who's like an older sister. She's like that. She told me, what was the last tough love she gave? She said, yeah, I see tremendous potential, but self-doubt. They just say those things, and you're like, okay, I get it. My choosing, 7 of Swords, grow out of it. Love it. So yeah, these 3 work really well together. If you have this deck and you've been contemplating, you can see they work well. I've seen some people pair this with Iris. Apparently it goes really well together, but I haven't tried that yet. We will see, and I will report back when that happens. But that kind of finishes my haul for this year. And how am I gonna buy a lot of decks next year? What am I gonna do? We will see. I've been thinking about it since there's been a lot of, talking about it. I saw Kara talking about, I know I got tagged onto that, but I was holidaying, I was taking a break from my burnout. So I've been thinking and reflecting, obviously end of the year reflection on what to do about my practice. And hopefully I'll shoot that video soon and have that as my first video of the year of 2026. But these few days, when you don't know which day it is, day of the year it is, you don't know what is happening. You just wake up and you're like, okay, I guess it's ending, but it's beginning, but something's happening. And unfortunately, there was still work. But again, from a reflective planning, all of those perspectives. So I'm going into despite of everything that happened this year, I'm going into the new year a lot happier, a lot calmer. I'm really excited, not very, don't get too ahead of yourself, but you have the right, you have earned to be excited about the new year. That's how. And the funny part is every time I tell myself, the problem is thinking about, oh, here's a milestone and then I will celebrate. Celebration is a huge problem for me. And yet my most excited are not ever, is at a time when there is no proof, real world proof of being excited. It's not like, oh, I have $1 million in the bank, so I'm excited. But I tell myself, when I have $1 million in the bank, I'll be excited. So it's something that I'm going into the new year about with, I need to celebrate more. And that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling quite positive about the year ahead and the potential of the year ahead. Be brave. Yeah, I'm being brave. And finding that fire in me. I love this deck, guys. It is so nice. I know was I around tarot when this launched? I'm not sure. I think I wasn't. But decks have a time to come into your life, right? And this deck had its time to come in right now. It's just really nice. So, Happy New Year. I hope you are also enjoying, and like, subscribe, all those things, so that we can hang out together in the new year. I want to take this time and say, if you're around, I want to say thank you for being part of this journey. It is a huge part of my life. I cannot tell you how many times this channel and this community and coming here and separating myself from my work has saved me from so many storms that were going through my life at that time. So this has been my sanctuary, and I hope to continue coming on here and talking about different things and decks and hanging out with you guys. So thank you for this beautiful year. I started this year with not having a YouTube, not knowing any of you, not knowing any of that. I'm ending the year with this whole new community. And for that, I feel really, really blessed. This has been a truly transformative year for me. I've lost a couple of friends that I never thought I'd lose. A lot of those never thought would happen has happened. And now in the next year is, it's the star, it's the hope and healing. It's the temperance. Those are the two cards, the magician, all that. So yeah, thank you again. Happy New Year. Bye, guys.